to have the whole book be query ready by chapter 4. I don't know, I felt really good about it. After 20 rejections, I'm just really glad that it found a home. How I pitch it is X fairy tale meets Y fairy tale. So last week I said that I wanted to get Act 1 query ready by yesterday, which was Father's Day. Clearly that did not happen. I got up to chapter 4 though, so that's pretty impressive to have the whole book be query ready by chapter 4. I feel like, I don't know, I felt really good about it. I feel very motivated to work on the rest of Act 1. We're still gonna target finishing the first act to be query ready by the end of the week, but it's gonna be a very busy week. I have a lot of life things happening. June is a very litty month. There's like 5 birthdays that are happening this month. The plan is to go to the library later. I really love the library. I went last week. It was like a really big table, really good space. I think the library was my favorite place that I checked out last week. I can't really do too much cafe hopping right now, so I think we're just gonna stick to the library so I don't have to buy a matcha. On that Friday, those 2 matchas I bought ended up being about $15, like just in total, and I thought that was a little bit too much. So it takes about 20 minutes to walk to the library, so I'm gonna get some moving in. I also signed up for ClassPass. I'm going to my first class tomorrow. It's a Zumba class. I used to do Zumba all the time when I was in university, and I haven't done it in a long time. And I signed up for a bunch of other classes. I don't know how I'm gonna do those classes to work my full-time job and also write at the same time and vlog, but I'm in a good mood right now, so hopefully we can keep this up. And for the reading, I'm currently reading DMZ Colony by Don Mi Choi. This was recommended to me by one of my friends from Tin House. By the way, I tried to rip off this sticker and the whole text came off, like the whole page almost ripped off, so we're leaving the sticker on. This is supposedly a poetry collection, and I will give it, how do I word this? I think this is more like a memoir in verse. That's what I would call it. There are a lot of different graphics in here, lots of photos. I finished Cemetery Boys last week. Aiden was my mentor for Tin House, so I felt like I needed to read Cemetery Boys. Going forward, like literally with life, I want to do 30 minutes of reading every day, 30 minutes of movement, and set some sort of like writing goal for myself. So that's why the goal is to have Act 1 be query ready by the end of this week. So that's the goal. Hi everyone, I went into this video with no introduction as usual. My name is Kelly. I am a science fiction and fantasy writer. I was a nominee for 2024's Aurora Award for Best Poem, and the book that I am working on is a young adult fantasy that I hope to query in this lifetime. That's my only, that's the bar, this lifetime. Hi, it is 6:45 on Wednesday. I just got back from a happy hour at work, so I'm a little bit litty right now. I thought we would do an update because I've been filming a lot of B-rolls and things like that. So long story short, there is no long story short. Long story short, I am working on chapter 5 now. It took me about 2 days to work on chapter 4, Monday at the library and when I came back, and Tuesday when I did 2 more read-throughs of chapter 4. Chapter 4 and pretty much the rest of Act 1 is a Frankenstein version of all its previous draft combined to one. I wrote the first act of this book quite literally 7 to 8 times. I talked about it in my last video, and so chapter 4 really did feel like it wasn't very smooth. I could really feel the different Frankenstein versions that I put together, so I wanted to make it smooth and make it flow, so I think I did that pretty well. And now we're working on chapter 5. It's been very slow going though, because yesterday. Like I don't know how other people do it. Like when I watch people on authortube, even though it seems like others have full-time jobs from 9 to 5, they can write during the day. I literally can't do any of that. Between 8:45 to about 5, I'm locked into work and I really can't do too much. So it's still very slow. And I ended up watching Hunt for Love yesterday, which is the new 90 Day Fiancé spin-off series. So I feel like I didn't get as much done yesterday as I had wanted to, but I'm home now, albeit a little turned, but hopefully it'll fade soon and we can work on chapter 5. I want to get the first read through of chapter 5 done, and I think I'll be okay with that progress for the day. I do get tomorrow off because it's Juneteenth, and tomorrow I'm actually going to a spa. Before the spa, hopefully I can finish up chapter 5 so it's also query ready by the end of the day tomorrow. That's the plan, and we'll see how it goes. As I probably mentioned in maybe one of the written texts in the clips, but I can feel my writing become stale. I don't know if it's just because I'm reading my writing like over and over again, and so I notice my writing tendencies, but I'm trying so badly not to go crazy with the line edits because I really do want an agent who is more editorial, who can work with me through my stuff. I wouldn't feel as comfortable, I think, to have an agent who is just like taking my manuscript and just like subbing it out. I really do want someone who's a bit more editorial, so I'm gonna try to find agents like that. Not that I'm making the line level writing bad, I don't think it's bad in any means, but I can just like feel my own tendencies, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's the update, and I have actually pretty good news. I don't know why I always get good news during my vlogs. It just happens to be like that. Maybe I'm manifesting it by vlogging, but I actually got a short story acceptance on Tuesday, and I'm really excited about it because this story has been rejected 20 times in the past, and this would have been such a good example in the video I made about rejection. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, you can watch it down below. I'm just really thrilled that I sold it and it will see the light of day like after 20 rejections. I'm just really glad that it found a home, and I can't wait. I can't wait for, I don't know, you guys to read it too. It's a lot different from my other short stories. This one is definitely a little bit more on the dystopic cyberpunk I guess side of science fiction, whereas my other short stories lean more towards solar punk. I'm very excited, and like when I got that acceptance, I like really completely forgot about it. I forgot all my other submissions. I have so many other submissions out there in the world, but I've been so focused on this young adult fantasy that I haven't really been subbing my short stories a lot. I am supposedly getting an R&R from this other magazine for this other short story. I don't know how much I can talk about it right now, but I feel like R&Rs, oh my god, if I get an R&R when I query, I don't think I'll pursue it, but because this is a short story, I'm more okay to do it. Once the editor sends me their letter, I'm gonna make the changes, and then hopefully they'll accept the piece. And I really want to get published by this magazine. They're very well known. They were the finalists for best semi-prozine for, I think, Hugo Awards, a lot of other awards. So this is a pretty established magazine, and I would love to get accepted by them if this R&R goes through. And that editor won't give me their feedback. I think they said end of June, so I guess it's coming up soon, and I'm really curious what they're gonna say. I'm interested in pursuing this because the short story that they are R&Ring isn't a very long one. I think it's about like 800 words or something. It's a flash, so that's why I'm more open to doing the R&R, but at the same time, the short story is exactly how I want it to be, so I'm curious what their vision is gonna be compared to mine. So yeah. Do I have any more updates? I don't have any more updates. I think at the end of this video, someone did ask me a question on the Tin House application. I will talk about that a little bit more towards the end of this video, and I think going forward, if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I may answer them in the next vlog. I have slightly bad news. It's the next day. I wrote for I think an hour last night from 9 to 10 and I was falling asleep, so I called it quits after working on the first 3 pages for an hour, and I just spent the last 30 minutes rereading those 3 pages and making changes again because I'm having a really hard time writing interiority for some reason with this book. A lot has happened, or a lot is happening around my main character, new things, magical things, and he's not reacting, he's not caring, and that doesn't make any sense. What just happened, how do I say this? Maybe I'll just say it, even I'm kind of spoiling it. Like, there is something new in his vicinity, and in the previous version, he just like grabs it, even though this thing is magical and it's weird and new, and he just grabs it. Like, where's the thought process in that? So I've just been going back and adding a lot, like so much interiority. I beefed up the first 3 pages like crazy, and yeah, I don't know, it's just taking so long. It's almost 10, so I think I'm just gonna work on this here, maybe for a little bit. Maybe we'll go to a coffee shop before lunch. Yeah, the spa is at, I think we're gonna leave around 2-ish. I actually got the spa for my husband because his birthday is on Monday. I'm getting a, what's it called? Heat stone massage. I feel like that massage is coming at a good time because that F45 class, it was really fun. I think I will do it again. I'm definitely gonna keep class pass, but I'm just so sore right now. All parts of my body is super sore. And I did kind of want to show you the desk because I rearranged some things again, but the cables are not tamed. They're so ugly, and I feel like every time I try to film myself writing is just so ugly, so I haven't done it. But this is what the desk looks like. So I moved those books like closer to the window, and we have a new kitty tree for the cats, although they don't really come into this room that much anymore. And I moved the tray over here. Whenever I worked at my previous places, like at my parents' house, at my last place in Toronto, the kitties always loved hanging out with me by my desk to my right, so that's why it's there. But yeah, they're outside because they don't like being here anymore. And for the reading, sorry, I'm literally all over the place. I definitely have some sort of ADHD. I'm just bouncing all over the place. For the reading, I'm definitely slacking on the reading. Still reading DMZ Colony. It's an amazing book. I don't want to go too much into it, I feel like, because I can talk about it for a long time, and this is not a reading video. I'm learning a lot about Korean history, and I thought I knew a lot about Korean history because I did go to Seoul and I did like history tours, and I like to read up on history and things like that. No, I don't know shit about Korean history. I wish there was a collection like this for various parts of the world where I can read through stories of people living in a certain time period, but because it's written in verse, it's very evocative. It's like reading a newspaper article, but very much more poetic and hard-hitting. Maybe we'll do the reading tonight. I have like an hour of reading catch up to do. Okay, let's go back to the writing. I really want to finish this before I go, like the first read through before I leave for the spa. I did not go to the coffee shop, but I did finish 5 entirely. I mean, it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. I don't want to do another read through at this point. I think I read it too many times and the words are not words anymore. I was wondering if I should send chapter 5 to someone. There's a lot happening in chapter 5. There's a new character introduced, and we are getting closer to the end of Act 1, so a lot of decisions are being made and a lot of different new people, new ideas are being introduced, so I feel like I'm so close to it. I don't know if I'm hitting all the exact emotional beats. As I said, I was trying to add a lot of this interiority, and I don't know if I'm doing that really well, but I think it's done. It's done. I'm gonna move on to chapter 6, but it is noon, so I'm gonna finish up some chores. Oh my goodness, a little Krumi came out. Hi. Anyway, I can't remember what I was saying. Got distracted by the kitty. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a break, work on chapter 6, and go to the spa. Hey, it's Friday. I will be wrapping up the vlog now. I know, like, each week goes by so fast, and I'm not the type of person who can get a lot done in a week. My progress is usually shown better, I think, like over a month, but the nature of authortube, I have to, you know, post what I have. So for this week, I only wrote chapter 5. I only edited chapter 5 and chapter 6. I did not do 7. Wait, I'm getting my chapters confused. I only did 4 and 5 this week. I didn't get to 6 yesterday. I pretty much had lunch, and then when we spent the entire day out at the spa, it was so good. If you're in the New Jersey, New York area, I highly recommend Sojo Spa Club. If you are looking for a luxurious, once in a year, once in a lifetime kind of getaway. So I'm about to head out to work soon, and what did I want to say? I want to say that if you've been getting value out of this video, please give this video a thumbs up so YouTube can recommend this video to other writers like yourself. I really don't think we're gonna get anything done today, and tomorrow I'm gonna be out all day again at the beach, so I can catch up on my reading at the beach. Sunday I have a birthday party for my brother. Monday is my husband's birthday, and we have a dinner planned, and Tuesday I'm actually going back to my parents' house. My work is hosting a zoo event, so we're gonna go. I'm not gonna vlog next week because there's so much life stuff happening, and I won't get any writing done if I'm trying to vlog too, so just letting you know that's what's happening. But I actually am not feeling the pressure of these weekly vlogs too much. Like, I don't feel like they're taking too much out of me right now, so I'm gonna keep filming weekly vlogs for at the moment. I'm just skipping next week because there's a lot of life stuff happening, and I really like the accountability that these vlogs have for me. So hopefully next time you see me though, I will have finished Act 1 and have a whole Act 1 be query ready. That will be really exciting. I am going to answer one question before I go. I got this question on the Tin House workshop video, and I think someone asked, I'd love to know more about the application process for this workshop and what you think made your application stand out and get selected. And oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the feedback I got. So I talked a little bit about the feedback in the previous video that I got. I didn't read out Aiden Thomas's letter to me. Pure laziness. I just haven't gotten the point to do that. I'm just busy. But if anyone is interested, please leave, I guess, an emoji of an apple for learning, I guess, if you want to hear Aiden's feedback. So the application process for this workshop was it's pretty much the same as the traditional publishing query package, plus an addition of your personal statement. I'm gonna close the window because I think it's loud. By the way, I have to clear my throat like all the time because I take an asthma steroid inhaler, and this is like one of the side effects, unfortunately. So the application process was a query letter, a synopsis, my first 10 pages, I think. Synopsis, query letter, pages, and the personal statement. By the way, I just looked up the application that I submitted for Tin House. I completely forgot. It wasn't the first 10 pages. It was my first 4,000 words of my book. That's what I submitted with. I don't think you needed the first 4,000 words. At least when we did the actual workshop, it wasn't the first 4,000 words. You could workshop any part of your manuscript, but for the sample, I also don't think it has to be the opening pages, but I always just give my opening pages because, I don't know, I think it's easier for people to follow, and the opening pages are so important anyway. So I think if you were to like overwork one section, I think the opening is fine, but I don't know, don't ask me, I don't know anything. Personal statement was 1 page describing why you wanted to do this workshop, what you're writing, why you're writing, what you're gonna gain out of this workshop. And I haven't written a personal statement like this in, honestly, years. I tried to apply to grad school. That was the last time I wrote a personal statement. I felt like the personal statement was the easiest one because it's very easy for me to talk about why I'm writing, like my why, like the why you're writing, right? So I felt like that was easy. And honestly, the question you asked about what I think made my application stand out, I think it was the personal statement. I felt like the personal statement, I literally vomited out. I vomited out this 1 page statement. I didn't ask anyone to read the statement, which I don't recommend. I always recommend you ask others to read your application before submitting anything. That's just like a rule of thumb, but I think I don't know, I think I'm okay with these kind of things. So if I'm confident enough, I don't ask for other readers. And I sent it out the next day, right over the next day I sent it out. So I think that was where my strongest point of the application was, but I did not get a scholarship. I don't know if I was supposed to have mentioned my need for a scholarship in the personal statement. Maybe that's where I should have expressed that. I don't know. I was thinking that my synopsis probably stood out too. I think my synopsis is very tight, and I think it hits all the correct plot points that a synopsis should hit. And when you read the synopsis with the opening pages, I think it makes sense. Like, it makes cohesive sense to me. I feel like my package gels very well together. My book is pretty much how I pitch it is X fairy tale meets Y fairy tale. So when I was giving my reading at Tin House, and I was like up at the front of the podium with like 30 people, and I explained my project, all I said was, this book is this meets this, and everyone understood the assignment, everyone understood what was going on. And so I think when you have that hook, or I don't know what the word is, you have that elevator pitch plus my opening pages, it gels very well. And as a reader, I think you understand what the story is going to be, but you're also like, I'm also subverting some expectations. I'm twisting it to make it my own flavor. So I think, I don't really know what I think stood out, but if I could guess, it would be the personal statement and how everything made sense cohesively, that the readers who are reviewing my applications and even the faculty are interested in reading more and helping me build this vision. So that's what I think. I hope that answers your question, as I know it was kind of vague. I didn't get other questions though, but if you have any questions, please leave them in this vlog. I will try my best to answer all of them in the next one. It's 8:14 now anyway, and my first meeting starts in 30 minutes. I'm pretty lucky that I live really close to my office. I'm in walking distance, but I kind of did that on purpose just because time is so valuable to me. I don't have time to, I don't want to spend the time to commute, like I really don't. So thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.